Compound interest, we got to solve a few of the questions, right? So there were only 4 or 5 PYQs in this chapter given in your Pathfinder book that I shared. And we'll be starting with PYQs and then few of the practice questions, right? So the first question, the question number 31 is the first question for the day. A sum of 10,000, okay. 10,000 is deposited for 1 year. Okay. 1 year at 10% rate compounded half yearly. What will be the interest at the end of 1 year?
Option B, sir.
Option
B.
D you are saying?
B. Beta.
Okay. B beta you are saying. Okay, fine. Let's evaluate that. That looks like correct one. Okay. So what's the rule over here? P into 1 plus R by 100. But over here, we'll have to write 10,000 into 1 plus 5 by 100. Why? Because it is compounding half yearly, right? And the time period is how much? 2. So, which essentially will be 10,000 into 1.05 square, right? So, what is 1.05 square? What is 1.05 square? It is how much? 5 into 5, 25. 2 and 0, 0, 2 only, right? 5, 5, 10, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, and 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10,000, 1, 2, 3. Have I done the multiplication correctly?
Yes, sir. Right,
2,
sir.
5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 1, 0. 2, 5 will be your amount. And then in this, we reduce 10,000. We'll get 1025, right? So B is your correct answer over here, right? B is a correct answer over here. So this was one of the PYQs. Very easy to solve, right? Let's move on to the next question. Yeah. Read this one. There is 60% increase in an amount in 6 years. Okay. Can you tell me what is the rate?
10, sir.
Absolutely. Okay. There is 60% increase in an amount in 6 years. That means obviously since at simple interest, so 60% divided by 6, 10% is the effective rate, right? So what will be the compound interest on 12,000 after 3 years at the same rate of interest? Okay. So I will not write too many steps over here, right? So 1.1 whole cube, this is 1.732, right? If we take down this 1, can we simply multiply with 0.732? No, it's not like that. Sorry. It's the value of 1.1 cube is 1.331. Apologies. Yeah. So it's not this value. It's 12000 into 0.331, right? This 1 over here represents what? This 1 over here represents 12,000, right? And this 0.331 represents the increase in its value due to compound interest, right? If you solve this one, how much will you get? Will you get 3972?
Yes, sir. 3972.
Yeah. So option C is your correct answer over here, right? Easy one again. Shall we move?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The difference between compound interest and simple interest at the same rate are percent per annum on an amount 15,000. Okay. 15,000 per annum on an amount 15,000 for 2 years is 96, right? Okay. So the best way over here is either to use the formula or go by the options. Okay. A, B, C, right? 2 years, had 8 been the correct answer, then simple interest would have been what? 16%, right? Correspondingly, it would have been 20% and C would have been 24%, right? And how much would have been the compound interest? 1.08 whole square. How much is this value? How much is this value? 1.08, 1.08, 8864 8, 8, 16. 16.
1.1664.
Yep. Okay. So if you just take out, that means it is how much? It is how much? 16.64%, right? As per CI. And if it were 10%, that means 1.1 whole square. That means 1.21, which means what? 21%. Okay. And this is how much? 1.12 whole square. Right now, the C option 112, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 1. Okay. This is how much? 25.44%, right? The difference between this and this, they have given the difference between this and this, they have given 96%. Sorry, 96 value, not percent. Okay. Is 96. Is 96. Let's try to solve one. Okay. Difference is how much? 0.64 percentage. Right. 0.64 percentage. How much is 15,000 into 0.64 percentage divided by
Sir,
100?
why can we just find 96 is how much percent of 50,000 we can find the difference which is equal, right? It will be single step, right?
Sorry?
We can find how much percent the 96 in 15,000 which will give the percentage which will eventually
Yeah,
take
absolutely.
two steps,
Absolutely. Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So we can do that as well. Okay. Like this you are saying.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this much is how much? 150, 0.64 percentage, right? Where do we have 0.64% of difference?
First one, sir.
First one, obviously. Okay. And if you solve this one, you will get 0.64. Right. Okay. No. If you solve this one, you will get 96.
Yes, sir.
Both ways are correct. Right. Clear. Shall we move?
Yes, sir.
If you remember over here the formula, I don't remember what was the exact formula. D is equal to how much was that? P R square. How was that? P R square divided by 100 was that formula, right? Was this formula? This was the formula, right? We need to find P already given 15 000 R root under. Was this formula? I mean, is this formula correct or wrong?
I don't know, sir. I didn't remember.
Okay, one moment. Class regular from tomorrow. One moment, let me check what was the formula. 1 second.
I think the square won't be there.
This square won't be there, right? Okay. If the square is not there, then your R is equal to how much? Yeah, absolutely. If PR, no, there's something different. One moment, let me just check the book. One moment. 1297 page book. Yeah, one moment, just a second. Sorry. So this was your question number 29. Okay. Yeah. So the formula was PR square divided by 100 square. Okay. This is the formula, right? So D is 96, P R square divided by 100 square, which was 96 into 100 divided by P, which is your 15,000 root under, which will give you your R. This one gone, this one gone, this gone, this one gone. Right. This goes by 2 times and this one goes by 3 times. And this one goes by how many times? 32 times. And root under 64 is equal to R, which will give you R is equal to 8%. Clear? So if the difference between simple interest and the compound interest is given, you can find out difference, principal, and rate, all of this by using this formula. Right? D is equal to PR square divided by 100 square. Right? Shall we move to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. For this question, the difference between compound interest and simple interest for 2 years at the rate of 10% over principal amount of X is 10. Okay. We don't know what is x. Okay. So what is the simple interest? X into 1.1 whole square minus x minus x into 2 into 10 divided by 100 is equal to 10. Right, right. I mean, this is your compound interest, this is your simple interest, and the difference they have given is 10. Right. This much is how much? 1.21x minus x. That means 0.21x minus 0.2x is equal to 10. That means x 0.01x is equal to 10. That means x is equal to 10 divided by 0.01 into 100. What is the answer?
1000, sir.
1000 B. Yep.
Sir, how about we use that formula?
Yep. We can use that formula as well. D is equal to PR square 100 square. Okay. We need to find how much? We need to find the value of P. Okay. So D is how much? 10 into 100 into 100 divided by R square is your how much? Your P. This one gone, this one gone, this one gone. P is equal to how much? 1000. Both ways is correct.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, both of these ways are correct. It's your choice which one you want to, work out with, because knowing this way is more conceptual method. Okay. And this one is a more in terms of your formula method. Right. Choice is yours, whichever you want to work out with, whichever you feel is easy for you. Okay. But the only disclaimer is that this is only valid for 2 years. Okay, when the time period is only when the time given is only 2 years. Okay, always remember that. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's 1 year means.
If a 1 year means both the simple interest and compound interest will be the same, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Unless it is compounding semi-annually, quarterly, or
Yes, sir.
something like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Easy one. But since it was a PYQ, that's why I have included it over here. What is the compound interest on 1600 at 25% per annum of two years compounding annually? That means 1600 into 1.25 square minus 1600, right? So 1600, what is 1.25 square? What is 1.25 square? 5, 5, 25, 2, 5, 2, 10, 20, 22, 5 to 10, 10, 22, 5, 5, 10, 4, 14, 2, 16.
5625, sir.
Yeah. 1, 5, 6 to 5. Right. Okay. So that means if we just simply multiply that with 0.5625, will we get the answer? Okay. Will we get the answer? Right. And it is more than 0.56. Had it been 0.5, the answer would have been 800, right? Okay. But this number is more than 0.5. So that means obviously your answer will be more than 800. That means can we conclude that the answer is what?
900.
900. Okay. We don't need to calculate. Okay. This is where the approximation will come handy, and it will improve your speed of solving the mathematical questions. Okay. Right. Purposefully, I'm not writing too many steps today, right? Because I want you guys to solve it a bit quickly. Okay. Yeah. This one. Read this one.
From the
From the given statement. Yeah.
appropriate option.
Yeah.
The present worth of 169 due in 2 years at 4% per annum compound interest is 156.25. Second statement. If the simple interest on a certain sum for 2 years is 120 and common interest is 129, then the rate of interest must be 15%. Which of the statements are correct?
Okay. So let's take the statement one. Statement one, essentially the present worth of 169 is saying that due in 2 years, 4% compounding. Okay. So 156.2% is basically increasing at the rate of 4% in 2 years, and it becomes 169. This is what it is saying, right? So can you please calculate what is I'm using the calculator, 1.04 square. That is, this value is 1.0816, right? Into 156.25, right? Into 156.25. If you calculate this, you will get the answer as 169, right? So statement 1 is correct. Okay, statement 1 is correct. Yeah, it's a little bit calculation intensive. Yes, I accept that. Okay, shall we move on to the statement 2?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if the simple interest on a certain sum for 2 years is 120, right? 2 years is 120 and compound interest is 129. Okay, then the rate of interest must be 15%. Can we assume 15% as the correct one? Let's assume 15% is the correct one. Okay. Okay, no. Fine. So that means for 2 years it must have yielded 30% as simple interest, right? 30% as simple interest, and that means something x of 30% is essentially how much? 120, right? Now, I mean some value, let the principal PLE, right, be x. So this 30% of principal would have been 120, right? Now, so what is the value of x? 400, isn't it? 400.
Yes, sir. 400.
Yeah. So now 400 into 1.15 square, is it 129? Or
529.
minus, yeah, obviously, or you can write it as 529. Either ways, both ways it's correct, right? Let's just take it 529 itself. Okay, 1.15 square is equal to 529. Is it coming? 1.15 square is, this value is 1.3225. Just now we calculated, right? Into 400, and this value will eventually, the left hand side will give you 529, which is equivalent to 529. That means the assumption that 15% is correct is valid. Okay, this assumption is valid, right? So that's smart, that and with by which we conclude that both option 1 and 2 are correct, right? I mean, we are just going off road and ensuring that we get the answer from whichever way is possible, right? We are not following the rules as such. Should you follow the rules? No. This is the only thing, right? You might also want to work out with that formula that we have. D is equal to PR square divided by 100 square, right? For 2 years, difference is how much? 9 into 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, and P is basically R square, right? That is how much? 15 into 15. We can work out like this also. 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 3, 4, 0, 0. Okay. This one gone. So which means principal is 400, right? This is what we have found out over here. Principal is 400, right? This is what we have found out, assuming that to be correct, right? And now 400. Now again, you will try and verify what is the difference. I mean, it's coming out to be correct. Okay, 400. Let's try and evaluate with the simple interest. Then 2 years, that is 15 years, 15%, 15%, 2 times, that is 30%, which will eventually give you 120, and which is what they have given over here as 120. And similarly, you can also check 400 into what? 1.15 whole square. Does it give you 529? If it gives you, then yes, it is correct, right? Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So, I mean, it's your choice. How do you want to steer it? Okay. Whichever way is easiest for you to work out with, right? Yeah, read this sum. Okay, read this sum in your mind and tell me which option we can eliminate without using pen and paper. So these are the few of the practice questions. The PYQs are over now. An amount is invested in a bank. Yeah. Is one correct?
No, sir, because the invested amount is
Yeah.
uh,
So
higher
obviously,
than the final amount.
yeah. So the principal amount has to be less than 1200 for sure. Right now. That means 1200 cannot be the answer. That's for sure. Right. An amount is invested in bank at compound interest rate. The total amount, including the interest after first and the third year, is how much? 1200 and 1587 respectively. Right. Right now. Okay. Now, if we assume by any chance 16% to be the correct one. Okay, let's say this is the correct one. Right. So what is the principal? Principal is 1200 divided by 1.16, right or wrong?
The
Right.
0.16.
No, no, no. 1200, this is amount, the total amount including the interest.
Total amount, yes, sir. Yes.
So this will be 1.16, right? So how much is this value? 1200 divided by 1.16. Okay. So this number comes out to be 1034.5. Okay, approximately this number. Okay. Slightly less than that, it's 0.48, something like that. And now this number into 1.16 cube, will it give 58851587? We need to evaluate that. Okay. So 1.16 raised to the power 3. This number is 1.560896, something like this. Okay. Into 1034.5. Is it giving 1587? 1034.5. Okay. So this value is essentially coming out to be your 1613 into 96, right? Which is not equal to 1587, which means what? Our assumption that 16% is correct is wrong, right? This assumption is wrong, right? No. So what is the answer over here? The answer over here is your D, neither one or right. Right now, it's either one or two. Okay. So how do we find the rate over here? How do we find the rate over here? Look, this 16%, had it been 16%, the number has shot up like this. Can we work out with 15% with some slight assumption? Okay. Can we work out with 15%? This is just for the sake of learning. Okay. So if you work out with 15% in after 1 year, okay, after 1 year, how much will be? 1.15. If we solve this one, 1200 divided by 1.15, which will essentially give you 1043.47. Right. Now, this 1043.47. This assumption is all because of that we are just assuming that, if it is 16%, it is shooting up to this number, then we might find our answer at 15%. Right. So now this value will be over here multiplied by 1.15 whole cube. Okay. Now if you do it 1.15, I'm using the calculator over here, which will essentially give you 1587. Okay. So which one is the correct answer? I mean, what is the correct rate over here? It is 15%. Right. Slightly approximation, slightly assumption, and this is how we should proceed. Right. Otherwise, you will just keep on scrambling to find, okay, we don't know either the rate or the, first year. What is the case? First year. Okay. We don't know the rate. Okay. Well, let's say principal is X and rate is R. So X into 1 plus R by 100 is equal to 1200, right? And another equation is 1 plus R by 100 whole cube is equal to 1403. Using these two equations, we have two equations and two variables. Okay, can you solve this? Can we solve this way? Shall we try to solve this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's try now this way. X into 1 plus R by 100, right, is equal to 1 to X into 1 plus R by 100 whole cube is equal to 12, sorry, this value is 1587, right now. Okay, now can it be written as 1 plus R by 100 into 1 plus R by 100 whole square? Can we write something like this?
Yes,
Can we
sir.
write something like this? And this value is how much? 1200. 1 plus R by 100 whole square is 1587. That means 1 plus R by 100 whole square is equal to 1587 divided by 1200. Right? Right now. That means 1 plus R by 100 is equal to root under 1587 divided by 1200. Okay. How much is that? 1587 divided by 1200. You can also divide it by 3. Okay. This value, inside this value will come out to be your 1.3225. Okay. And root of this value, root of 1.3225 will how much? 1.15 we have been calculating, right? So 1 plus R by 100 is this much. That means R by 100 is 0.15. That means R is how much? 15, right? The only cumbersome part over here is to calculate this value. Right now, do you want me to calculate that? Yes or no? Do you want me to calculate that? There is no other way than solving it like this. Okay. 400 3 times. Okay. Sorry. 529. Now this 400 529 one time, 429 0. Sorry, this is 9. 429 129. Okay. 3 times 1200 90. One more 0. How many times? 2 times 800. Then another 100. Then how many? 2 times. Then how much will be remaining? 200. Another 0. Then 5 times. Did we get 1.3225? And how do you find the root of this value? 1. Gone. 32. 2. 1. 21. 1. 2. 5. 22. 5 times. Right. 1.15. Clear? I mean, is it clear how to do all this calculation to you? Avikaran, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we found out the R. Can you find out, can you put this value over here to find what is X?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please do that. Okay. Shall we move to the next question in that case? Yeah.
Yes.
Theory bit. We know that current each invested 15,000 rupees for 3 years. Okay. Just hell of a, by just so much, hot over here. So I'm just sweating like hell. Give me one moment. Meanwhile, you read the question.
We know that the current each invested 15,000 for 3 years at the same rate of interest. But we know investment is compound annually, while current investment is charged on simple interest. Statement 1. We know receive more interest than current. Statement 2. Data is insufficient to calculate.
Yeah. So statement 1 is obviously correct.
Yes, sir.
It will be obviously correct. In compound interest, we get more, right? Vinod will obviously receive more interest than current. Should I work it out? I mean, it's a theory bit, right?
Yes, sir. No need paper pen.
We don't need to do that. Okay. And can we find the interest over here? Can we find the data is, can you find the interest?
No, sir.
No, we cannot find. Right. So which one is the correct answer option over here?
D.
D. Both one. Okay. Next question. We'll move to the next question. In that case, yeah. Easy one without using pen and paper. Tell me what is the answer. 10,000 deposited at compound interest becomes double in 5 years. 10,000, 10K became 5 years, 20K, right? Another 5 years, it will become 40K. Another 5 years, it will become how much? 80K. Another 5 years, it will become how much? 160K, right? Right now, which one is the correct answer option?
Option yes.
Option A, 1,60,000 is your answer over here. Shall we move?
Yes.
Yeah. A man borrows 4,000 rupees at 8% per annum on compound interest. At the end of every year, he pays 1,500 as part payment of loan and interest. How much does he still owe to the bank after 3 such annual payments? Okay. Look, there is no other way other than doing it manually. Okay. Year 1, what happened? At the end of year 1, 4,000 became how much? 8% of 4,000 is how much? 320.
Yes,
This
sir.
much. Out of which he paid 1,500 rupees. That means how much was remaining? 20,
3 to
18. Right. Right now. This much was remaining after the end of 1 year. Yes,
so
sir.
you calculated wrong.
Calculated it wrong. Where?
2820.
Oh, yeah. Right. 2820. Okay. At the end of year 2, 2820 will become this much. How much is this value? 2820 into 1.08. This value comes out to be 3045.6. Okay, let's not work out with 0.6. How much is this value? 1544 at the end of second year.
Yes.
1545, sorry. Okay. Third year, what happens? 1545 into 1.08. Right now, 1545 into 1.08. This value after interest, it becomes 1669. Right. Minus 1,500 he paid. So how much he still needs to pay? Somewhere close to this, right? So which answer option is correct?
Option
It's
C.
C. Yeah. If you work out with all this precise number here and here, you will get this number 169.25. Okay. But it doesn't make sense to work out with those precise numbers, right? Yeah. Theory bits. Tell me the answer without using pen and paper.
Sir, option D.
Option D. D for delta, right? Yes, that's correct. Okay. So 100 becomes 200 in 15 years, and then it will become 400 in another 30 years. I mean, in another 15 years, and it will become 800 in another 15 years, right? So how much years, how much time it will take? 45 years. That's it. D is your answer. Clear? Shall we move? Shall we move? If the value of a machine depreciates by 10% of its value at the beginning of the year and its present value is estimated at 10935, then what was the value 3 years back? Tell me, what are the options we can eliminate by looking at it?
B
Yes.
and C.
Yeah, B and C, obviously, because 3 years back the value of machine would have been less. I mean more, sorry, because the more only it will get decreased to become something like 10935. Okay. And if this is value is divided by 0.9 whole cube, will we get the answer? Will we get the answer?
Yes.
How much is this? It's 15,000.
Sir, here depreciation means it will be compounded, right?
Depreciation.
Yeah, depreciation means
Depreciation
it
means,
will be compounding, right?
yes, compounding, but it's decreasing.
Yeah, I understand. But in the not in a simple interest way.
Sorry? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So basically the value was X, okay, and it was just getting reduced. If you solve this, if you work this out, you will eventually reach over here. Okay. We have directly written is that it as like this. Okay. It's simple. Shall we move?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did this one. We did this question now. 9680 in 2 years, right? And 10648 in 3 years, right? So how much was the increase from second year to third year? How much was the increase? 10648, 9680, 86. How much is that? 9, right? No, 968. So 968 has been increased out of how much? 9680. That means increase has been how much? 10%, right? Right? No. Yes or no? We did this type of
Yes.
question. Second year, the increase that happens between second year to third year, this is just the increase in the simple interest, right? This is the amount after second year, and this is the amount after third year, right? So the increase that has happened between second to third year is just a simple interest, right? Right now, and that 10% and that rate that we have reached over here is the basic effective rate of interest. But this 9680 we have reached with compound interest. So 1.1 whole square. Tell me what is the value? 9680 divided by 1.1 whole square. You get how much? 8000. I mean, are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Shall we move then? Your answer option A is correct over here. Okay. Shall we move in that case? Yes or no? I want me to
Yes,
tell
sir.
it again. Yeah. Without using pen and paper, tell me what is the answer. 3200 at 10% per annum compounded quarterly amounts to 3362. So how much was the interest? Any sort of
160.
interest? 162.
Yes.
Okay. 162. Look, this compounding quarterly, compounding semi-annually. Okay. It won't have much effect. Okay. Much effect on smaller numbers. Okay. Smaller numbers. So obviously, this 162 is how much? 5%, right? Close to 5%. In fact, slightly more than 5%. Yes or no? And
Yes.
if it is effectively slightly more than 5%, can we conclude that it must have been for only half year, that is 6 months? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So answer option B is your correct answer over here. It need not be solved. It was a theory bit. Okay. So this is how you leverage this approximation and all that stuff. Yeah. Take 1 minute of your time to solve this one. Just give me 1 moment. Okay. I'm coming back. Just give me 1 moment. Just 1 moment, Amikar. Yeah. Yeah. So a sum compounded. Yes. What is the answer? Yes, Avikar. What is the answer?
Option A, sir.
Okay. Option A you are telling. Let's evaluate that. A sum compounded annually becomes 25 by 16 times in itself 2 years, then the rate of interest per annum is okay. So that means 1600 became how much? 2500, right now itself in 2 years, then the rate of interest per annum, that means how much was the interest? 900 was the interest, right now, right? And 900 is how much percentage in 200? How much is this value? 900 divided by 16. Okay, this value is somewhere your okay. So 900 was the interest over here. Okay, let's check this one. It might get a little bit complicated. Okay. So yeah, but you can use this way also, approximations, and then you can solve it. Okay. So
Why, sir? It's that complication. It's very simple.
Yep. It's very simple. Yeah. Okay. So how much is this? This value will come out to be your 56.25 percentage. Okay. For 2 years, right? And if you do the half of it, this is like 28.25 percentage. Okay. But we know that even if the rate of interest is slightly lower than this, okay, we'll get it right now effectively. Why? Because it is in the compounding, right? It is compounding, right? So the effective rate of interest has to be less than this. but it cannot be as less as 20%, because if you go to as less as 20%, that means 1.2 square, that is 1.44, right? But over here, we are supposed to reach how much? 56%, right? But when you do 1.25 square, how much is that? 125 square, 125 square. 125 square, how much is that? 125 square.
15625.
Okay. It is 15625, right?
Yes, sir.
So this much is the value, and this is what we want, 56.25%, and this is what we have got over here, right? Okay. Approximation, did you get the approximation thing, right? 56.25% for 2 years, that means for 1 year 28.25 effective percentage. But since it has been compounding, so the effective rate will be slightly less than this right now. With 1.2 we are reaching only 44%, and 1.25 we are reaching 56.25%. So obviously your answer will be how much? A, 25%. Are you getting the idea?
So, we can do like
Yeah.
P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole power 2 is equal to 25 by
Yep,
16P.
we can do that as well. Okay, 1600 into 1 plus R by 100 whole
Why
square.
1600 came here?
We have assumed this one because it's given
Okay, sir.
25 by
Yes,
16 times, no? Okay, so we
I
have
thought
assumed,
we can take P and they given us 25 by 16 times, right? Which will eventually cancel it out. So there is no need
yep,
for variable time.
yeah, there is no need.
Assuming with make some calculation made long.
No, it won't need any calculation. Okay, because
Yes.
both 1600 and 2500 are perfect squares. Okay, so you don't really need to worry about that as well. Okay, so 25, 1600, eventually it's coming out to be the same, right? What you are saying is that
Same, sir.
one is
Same, sir.
becoming 25 by 16, right?
Yes,
Just
sir.
for the sake of saying, I do not want to work out with fractions. I want to work out with this. So 5 by 4 minus 1. Okay, how much is that?
1 by 4.
1 by 4. R
Which
is
is
25.
25.
Okay.
Yes.
And did you understand this approximation method?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. This also comes very handy when things are slightly complicated, when you are dealing with big numbers. So approximations you should know, you should learn. Okay, so 16,000 invested at 10% per annum compounded semi-annually amounts to, then the period of installment is, okay, so how much is that? Okay, 16,000, okay, 1 plus 5 by 100, or 1.05 raised to the power x is equal to 18522. Okay, so that means 1.05 raised to the power x is equal to 18522 divided by 16,000. Okay, how much is this value? 18522 minus 16,123, 16,000. No, it's not. 18522 divided by, not minus, 16,123. Okay, 18522 divided by 16,123. Okay, this value will come out to be your 1.157625. Okay, what if we place the value of x as 3? Okay, what if we place this value of x as 3? Have we not been solving these many questions, and have we not encountering these numbers all over again to guess what is the value of x?
So 1.53.
Yeah. Okay, so the value of x is 3, right? And correspondingly, x is what? Semi-annually, right? So x is what? Your 1.5 years, right? Right. Do you have any doubt, any queries, any question, concern, anything?
No, sir.
It's all about approximations. Okay, it's all about thinking slightly different than the conventional approach. right? An amount of X at compound interest at 20% per annum for 3 years. Okay. It will be in the ratio of 1:1.732. They have asked y is to x. I'm not writing all these steps. I hope you are getting what am I writing. How much is this? 866, 500, 433, 250. Right. It's 125 to 16.5. Which one is the closest one?
Option C, sir.
Option C. Yeah. I mean, am I teaching you compound interest or ratio of proportions? Tell me. I mean,
Both.
yeah, both. Yeah. So that's how you need to think of all this. Do you know how did we write 1.732? You know, I mean, I just
Because
assumed one. Yeah, 1.2 cube. It is 1.732, right?
yes, sir.
Right now. That's
Yes, sir.
why cube roots are also important, at least up till 20. We should know. Yeah. Small saving bank gives interest which compounds annually. Raju deposited 100 rupees and received 121 at the end of the second year. What is the compound interest per annum? Do you even need pen and paper to solve this? How much is this? What is 11 square?
121.
121, right? What is the rate? Right, what is the rate, guys?
10%.
Yeah, or if you don't know, for example, let's say for the other audience, those who do not know, 1 plus r by 100 square is equal to 121. That means 1 plus r by 100 is equal to 11 by 10 minus 1, this one gone, r by 100 is equal to 1 by
1/10, sir.
1 by 10, this one gone, r is equal to
10,
10%,
sir.
right? Clear now?
Yes.
Yeah. The compound interest on a sum for 2 years is 832 and the simple interest on the sum at the same interest for the period is 800. What is the rate of interest? Let's do the formula way first. D is equal to PR square. 100 square. D is how much? 32. Right. P we don't know. R also we don't know. Right. We don't know either P or R. Both of it we don't know. Then what is the rate of interest? Okay. So the formula has gone on to a toss. Right. So let's check what happens in the case of simple interest. In the simple interest, what happens? P we don't know. R we don't know. T we know 2 years divided by 100 is equal to 800. Right. This one gone. 400. P into R is how much? 40000. Right. Compound interest. What's the case? T into 1 plus R by 100 whole square minus of P is equal to 832. Right now.
Yes, sir.
So P into 1 plus R by 100 whole square minus 1 is equal to 832. Right. I mean, I don't like solving this, but we'll have to. We don't have any other option. Okay. The formula has gone on to a toss. Yeah. So P1A square plus B square plus 2AB minus 1 is equal to 832. Right. This one gone. And if we replace the P with R, that means P is equal to 4123 divided by R. Right. So can we over here write 4123 divided by R is equal to R square into 10123 plus R by 50 is equal to 832, right now. So if we solve this one, what we get? 4R, right? This is what we get, 4R, right? No. If we multiply these two, 4R we'll get. And if we solve this one, we'll get 40,000 divided by 50. That means 4,000 divided by 5. Okay, 4,000 divided by 5 is how much? 800.
800.
That means 32 R or capital R is equal to 8%. This is why we should know the process. Right now, because we have two variables over here, PR square, both of these we don't know, right? Both of these we don't
Yes,
know,
sir.
right? The formula has gone on to a toss. Shall we move?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, easy one. What is the least number of complete years in which a sum of money at 20% compound interest will be more than double? If it is 20% compounding annually, in 3 years, how much it will be? 1.732. That means,
0.738.
yeah, that means 100 rupees has already become 173.2, or 1 rupees has become 1 rupees 732 paise. So what if we multiply 1.732 into 1.2? How much is this value? 1.2 raised to the power 4.
2.07.
Okay, this value will shoot up to your 36. So is it becoming 2 times?
Yes, sir.
At what power? At what time period?
4, sir.
N is equal to 4. So the least time period which is required over here is D, 4. Correct. Shall we move? At compound interest, if a certain sum of money doubles in n years, then the amount will be fourfold. Tell me the answer. Theory bit.
C, sir.
Yep. Absolutely C. Okay. Let's say n is equal to 5 years. Okay. In 5 years, 100 becomes 200. Okay. So they are saying when it becomes 400. Okay. Here to here 5 years, and here to here again 5 years. Right? So when did it become fourfold? In 10 years, that was basically 2n. Right now. So what is the answer? C. Right. Shall we move?
Yes, sir.
We have done this type of question so many times. Yeah. Last question for the day. These were the questions with a lot of variables, so I thought that maybe I should work out with these. Numbers are good. It's easy for us to work out with the numbers, but when it comes to variables, mind stops, working somewhere. So if P be the principal amount and R be the rate of interest, R percent per annum, and the compound interest is calculated K times in a year. Okay, K times in a year. Then what is the amount at the end of n years?
Option is
Option A, obviously option A. So what do we do? What do we actually do? Let's say it is quarterly. Let's say P is equal to 100. Okay, 1000, let's say. Okay, R is equal to, let's say, 10%. Okay, compounded interest is calculated K times. Let's say K is equal to how much? 4 times, let's say. That means quarterly. Compounding quarterly, this is the case. Okay, n years, n is, let's say, n years is your 10 years. Let's just assume for the sake of assumption. Okay, so P into 1 plus R by 100 into n. P is your 1000. We have written it as it is, plus this R, and now quarterly, right? Quarterly, that means rate divided by 100 into 4, right? Now into, in 10 years, how many quarters? 40 quarters. Okay, that means 4 into 10 quarters, right? So 1000 was what? P into 1 plus this 10 was what? R divided by 100, and this 4 was what? K into, how did we reach 40? By multiplying these two, n into K. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this one. So the correct answer option is your over here is A. Okay,
yes,
clear?
sir.
Was
Yes,
it was it an easy or a tough chapter? Tell me.
it's concept wise it's easy, sir, but calculation wise it will take consume time.
Yeah, it will take a little bit of time. Yeah. And how do we work around those calculations? Many a times it can be tackled using approximations. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So even calculations are also not a big deal, isn't it?
Yes.
If you know 2 by 2, 3 by 3, and all those approximations, because you know the relation between the simple interest and the compound interest, how did we find out that 0.56 was the effective net increase? That means yearly it was increasing by 28%, and then we concluded that no, the rate of interest must have been slightly lower than that because it's compounding, right? So then we concluded it's 25%. Right, our Karan. So thank you so much for joining. We'll end this chapter compound interest over here, and we'll meet again tomorrow with a new chapter.